6 p.m.
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Jackson, Member Smith, Chair Frazier.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Comments from guests? Okay, no comments. Any written complaints?
I have not received any.
No one else received any? Approval of meeting minutes, August 20th, 2024.
I move that we approve the minutes of August 20th of 24.
I second.
Motion by Brown, second by Childs. Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Brown,
Yes.
Chair Frazier.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Discover Crystal Springs Cemetery update.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Report from last month, 19 August to today. We spent 70 or 64 hours working in the ravine in the grotto area. That's spread over 4 people, different people working together. We collected 2 bags of trash. As far as our Facebook page, we had 3 new members this month, so we're up to 151 people are signed on to our Facebook page. I've included a map here. This is a map of the upper part of Crystal Springs Cemetery. The ravine section is on the bottom. But I've highlighted all the engineering features, the dams, the culverts, and the bridges. Altogether, we've got 6 bridges in the ravine area, and that starts at Crystal Springs Road all the way to the west end, including the railroad bridge along Ox Creek. We've got 5 dams located in the ravine area, and those are marked with the green symbols, the triangles, and we got 6 culverts throughout the ravine area. As far as progress between the bridge, B2 and B3, the bridges in the cemetery, we started removing invasives and vines just north of the decorative bridge down in the bottom of the ravine. And we included about 150-foot area we've cut. And when you're fighting these multiflora rosa bushes, these things are huge. They like to attack you from all sides. But after we cleared it out, the wife says, "Well, look at that stone." And we found a carving on the face of the stone facing Ox Creek. And on it was written with Lake El Velta. That's the name of the lagoon. When the dams were functioning, there's quite a few lagoons down the ravine area. And this rock was engraved with the name of the lagoon or the lake that was formed from it. And we weren't aware that feature was there. We also were clearing down in the ravine. We cleared down the Lady in the Cross at the bottom of the ravine, and also the topless angel up on the upper north side of the ravine. They were clearing that in preparations for the cemetery tour that's going to take place this Saturday. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a few more minutes. Work on the Eaglesfield Grotto. We continue to work there. And we still got a good flow of 3 to 5 gallons. It's a substantial amount of flow coming out of that grotto from the natural springs in the floor. Since November last year, we've excavated over 340 cubic feet from the grotto. That's leaf debris and silt, stuff that's built up over the years. We've also cleared the area between the grotto and a large rock just the west of the Eaglesfield Stone Monument. And we moved some large limbs off to the side, and we weed whacked it again for preparation for Saturday's cemetery tour. And both the grotto and the 22-ton rock, the Eaglesfield rock, which was moved from east side of Portage, Michigan, over here in the early 1900s for the monument for Elizabeth Eaglesfield. And the grotto we started, we're continuing to excavate to the right of the grotto. We have uncovered some steps that we feel eventually will go up to the top above the grotto for access to it. Other activities we've done, down on the west end, from Dam 4 to the culvert to Ox Creek, and upstream from Ox Creek to the other dam, D5, we removed all the invasive species and the vines and that. So actually, if you go on the roadway, standing on the culvert, you can see both dams and Ox Creek now from one vantage point. It'd be a perfect spot, hopefully, in the future, we can put a bench down there because you hear the gurgling water and it's kind of a relaxing area. We also, in preparation of cemetery tour, trimmed, weed whacked all the way down the access to the ravine, down to the Decorative Bridge, and continue on south across the bridge to the south side, clearing all the weeds out so if somebody does go down there, they don't have to walk through the high weeds and vines down there. And Bob Cooley has been doing some repair work on the damaged stones on Morton Hill. So we need to thank him for the work he's done there. On the bad side, sometime around September 22nd, somebody backed up over 4 or 5 headstones, flat headstones. I didn't see any damage, and dumped a large load of leaves and 4 or 5 sections of large tree limbs. I just backed up, dumped it off. And the only reason we knew this happened because we went down to walk the path going out to the far west end. There was this big section of limbs sitting in their pathway. So looking around, investigating, we went to the top and see where leaves had been dumped and the sections of trees were rolled down the bank. Only one went down, the other 2 are hung up in other trees, so they could come down anytime. As far as work we're going to continue on in the future, we're going to continue excavating at the grotto because we're trying to see if those steps will connect up to the top. We're also going to start cleaning way on the west end from where one dam is. We're going to start from there, go across the bridge, and then down the other side of the creek. So basically we'll clean all the vines off. So you got easy access and a visual aspect from the bridge all the way down to the dam. And right now it's heavily covered with multiflora rows and vines and stuff. We hope to have that done in next week and next month or 2. And also, cemetery tour is going to be this Saturday, September 14th. Morton House is doing this cemetery tour. It starts from 11 and goes until 2. And with this for a small donation, they're asking $10 a person. They'll supply you with a map, and the map will be marked with specific locations. And you can drive around at your convenience, your leisure. To each one of those locations, there'll be somebody there to explain what's unique about that spot in the cemetery. And Discover Crystal Springs will be there, this group, and we'll be at the grotto, and we're talking about both the area and ravine and also the grotto and the Eaglesfield Rock and back. A noteworthy item is one of the stopping points is the Civil War Veterans section. And we have marked those 7 Black Civil War vets for a part of this tour. Some of those veterans are with the Massachusetts regiments, and some are from Michigan regiments. And on my Facebook page, we'll be asking for volunteers, somebody handy with a chainsaw, because we got 4 trees that are laying down across the bridge at the far end. And in order to get access across the bridge, you have to sort of over or under these trees. And if we get somebody with a good chainsaw and safety, I would just have them cut out like a 4-foot wide section so people can walk through there. And that would give us access. And actually people could walk, at that point, they could walk all the way from Napier across the bridge at the west end and along Morningside Drive, which is the walking path that we're creating in the north side of the ravine, and exit out to the ramp on the north side. No additional expenditures for this month. And again, we're looking for somebody to help us get started with a 501(c) for the cemeteries. And we're planning on sometime in October is probably getting together a public meeting down at the library, looking for volunteers and also people that want to start 501(c). And that's it for me today. Anybody have any questions?
No, I just think you're doing a great job.
Okay,
Give
thank you.
a round of-
And if you can, come on out Saturday.
Okay.
Unfinished business, update on cemetery property / ground repairs. Mr. Little, do we have any updates?
We sent Public Works out to remove some trees that have fallen and knocked over some headstones. I think I'm gonna have them come back out and see if they can help you with the trees that you've had problems with. I've asked Adam Mars to look at trying to provide water, we're gonna move it out to the parking lot area where people can get water when they need it. We're also contracting with a well firm to come out there and take a look at that well system that's in there. From what they've explained to me, there's a very elaborate well system in there that used to pump water to all different sections. And we don't really know much about it or how bad or how good the shape it may be in, but we're gonna have the well company go out there and do an assessment of that and let us know. It's possible that it could be, with some small investment, able to be restored and be used. So that's about what we've got for right now. I'm going to try to have some signs printed up to put out there dealing with the clearing away stuff that we're talking about from the graves and so forth.
Do you have a timeline on that?
And we're gonna try to get them done as soon as possible.
And once they're done, if, I would like to be able to see what they look like. And
Sure.
I'm sure the rest of the board members as well.
Sure.
Also, the well firm, do we have a timeline on when they'll be going out?
I don't, we were just talking about that about an hour ago, and I told them to go ahead and have them as soon as they can.
Any updates, in regards to the cemetery personnel?
Nothing on personnel and not likely to be this year. There's no money budgeted for it. And right now, things are, they're fairly tight.
Okay. Well, in speaking with that, I came across an article from 2021, because I've requested for finances, a copy of expenditures when it comes to the cemetery board, which I haven't received yet. Back in 2021, there was a plan approved with the collaboration of the city manager that this will be done in a regular and timely manner. And I know since I've been on the board, I have not, even as just a board member and now as the chair, haven't received that yet.
And tell me once again what it's supposed to.
It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be kept up to date on the finances and assets of the cemetery. The collaboration of initiated to ensure the cemetery board can make physically responsible decisions for city staff to make timely reports to the board. And this was printed in 2021. So just 3 years ago. And I know that you and I had a conversation, I still, basically the same thing, just wanting a report and when it comes to the finances for the cemetery board and transferring and all that. So we're aware of what's going on. New business, transfer of funds for burials.
We only have one transfer dated August 20th in the amount of $4,835.
Chairperson, I got a question. Are we transferring these funds directly from our Huntington account to C management, or where's we transfer funds for burials to? Where's the transfer of funds? Who's it going to transfer? Directly to C management or what?
Mr. Little, that'd be a question.
Actually, it was explained to me that the monies that are paid are going into the Crystal Springs Cemetery account that I believe is at Huntington Bank. That what has been occurring is that the city has been paying from city funds, from the city account, the money to C management. That the previous account, Crystal Springs Cemetery account, had one signatory on it, which was Mr. Mitchell before he left. And I'm just learning this here in the last, since the last meeting. So the monies that were paid in there are still in there and it's due to the city, but we'll be correcting that and getting the signatories on it so it can transfer. But that's what's been occurring. They've been paying money from general fund to C management for it.
So the money that's become from the general funds, because that money right now is not being able to be moved because of the signature person is no longer with us. So is it the correct amount that we're transferring?
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll be in this report that I'm requesting as well.
I hadn't necessarily planned to, but I'll talk with Rhonda about it.
Okay. Because that's what I'm more or less concerned with, especially with us having this debt with C management, which we're paying down. Where are we with that now? Do we have a balance with them still, or?
If we do, it's very recent, and I don't believe we do.
Okay. Okay, but I would like to see that on paper, like just making sure that we do, that they are getting paid for their services. Excuse me. Okay, so back to transfer of funds for burials.
Madam Chair, I move that we transfer funds of $4,835.
I second it.
Motion by Childs, second by Frazier. Chair, Member Jackson,
Yes.
Member Brown,
No,
Member Childs,
Yes.
Chair Frazier.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Any comments from the board?
Yes, my understanding is that, Mr. Little, that September 30th, that's the last thing, public and people that got stuff on the graves can remove their stuff without us having to remove it.
I believe that's right.
Now, during September 30th, the people who out there cutting the grass now, those are the ones gonna be involved in moving it. I said to myself that I would help volunteer to help them. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. And that's, we still have to talk with him about that.
Thank you.
I had a question on that. So notifications have went out.
We put out a general announcement, we're gonna do the signs to actually post them out at the cemetery so people can see them and know what,
I know the signs are out on different areas.
Yeah.
And a question to George. Lately, all of the plots that have been purchased, they do receive that information about what they can or can't put on those graves.
They have given it, they're given, deals, and then when they come in and ask, I can give them another sheet besides the posted. One's outside of the office, one posted in the office door as you come in, another one out there by the mailbox, other rolls. Which I posted inside the office, so.
Now, has any of those forms been given to the various funeral homes?
Not recently, I can send copies out to the funeral home.
Yeah, I think that'll be good, so when they come in to make those arrangements, they can also have that, and then they'll know exactly what's what, so they'll be without excuse.
I did put, roll signs up in the two major structures
Mhm.
that they go to when they come in for their committal service. That way,
Right,
I was thinking people besides the family members, see what can be put out there if you're
Yeah.
visiting and somebody might come and see them. They're posted and whether people read them, that's a hard thing to say, but
yes, because it'll be a good thing when that takes place, the removal of all of that stuff around those graves, that no one would be able to say, hey, I didn't know anything about this. So, that's good. I guess the question is, so the end of the grass cutting was the last of October.
Usually around last of October.
Okay. So it seems like everything is pretty much going pretty smooth.
Overall, it has.
That's good. All right. So from here to the end of the year, there won't be any, like you said, as far as personnel out there, we can't expect that to take place with nothing in the budget for that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Little, so where was this, announcement made for the public in regards to the cemetery? And what they, as far as removing anything?
At city commission meeting, also at a city committee meeting, and, did we post something on the website on that?
Yes, it's on our website.
Anything on the local radio station?
I don't believe so, but we'll try to get something.
And
Newspaper.
Yeah, that was my, gonna be
Yeah,
my
no,
suggestion.
we haven't paid to have the newspaper put anything out.
Yeah, I will make that suggestion that we put it in the newspaper as well. Because some people do still get the newspaper. And, just, just try to be as informative as possible. There's gonna be some kickback from it, but, just try to cover every base as much as possible.
I have a question. How often has it been steered published?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I'm not sure. It's
It's every week.
So,
She publishes every week.
I should do, that would be a good thing too, if you could put a notice in there also. Because it's gonna be some blowback. And then the thing that we're covered with, hey, it was here, it was here, it was here, it was here, it's posted out there, so everybody will be without excuse. And hopefully,
And it actually has been part of the rules all along, it
Right.
just wasn't.
right,
Yes.
But they know that it's going to be enforced.
Madam Chair, the gentleman here.
Hasn't this policy been in effect for a long time? It's just never been enforced,
Right,
Correct, yes.
so.
And now we're buckling down and enforcing it. And mainly because it's really gotten out of
Yes,
control.
it has.
yes, it has. From the
Could
sim,
have taken out everything, the shepherd hooks, or some of them are pretty nice and stuff. Could be left, some stuff maybe,
No, we don't wanna do that because of it.
everything to go.
Not everything, but whatever comes with the actual plot, that's already in the paperwork, I would wanna say. And that would be a question for George, but all the extra stuff, the lights and blankets and
Blankets,
rocks and
rock.
all kind of stuff.
Biscuit balls.
Yeah.
The little fences they got around there.
I mean, cause, and just, if you wanna look at it technically, people that are out there grass cutting, that's messing with their machinery,
Yes, it is.
which is, also a cost, so it's not just saying, oh, it looks a certain way, we have to think of it all the way around,
Right.
so, yes.
When you come to take your shepherd hooks, you're gonna run a problem because previous people have had them cemented in the ground.
Yeah.
And some are cemented up on these headstones or because they didn't want them stolen, so they added cement to them when they put them out.
Madam Chair, once it's all taken care of and removed, if in the future someone else puts all that stuff out there, what happens to them?
We'll remove it immediately.
Okay, will they have any repercussions, any fines or anything?
The existing ordinance doesn't seem to provide any. Do you recall that?
I don't think that there's any fines involved.
Oh, okay, so it'll just be, the grass cutters can just,
Another, well, trimming some of the bushes around these headstones. They're going around the headstone, you can't even see the headstone. That's their voice, they put it in, but, needs to be trimmed up at least. Some of them are dead. They could be removed. But if they're, put them in and planted them 10 years ago and they haven't been back to maintain them or anything, they're overgrown.
One last question, just kind of brought up a question for me, Mr. Little. Do we have an actual schedule of when the grass cutters go out? Do they have a set schedule or it's based on need, or how does that work?
I don't believe, at certain points, it's a set schedule, but we change it depending on how fast
The grass
the
is.
grass is growing. So
Okay, any other comments from the board? Okay, I am ending this meeting, calling it at 1:34 PM.
No Friday.
okay.